Welcome to the SDA Housing Podcast, brought to you by NDIS Property Australia. Before starting this episode, we need to provide a general disclaimer. Information contained in this podcast is general in nature only. It does not take into account the objectives, financial situation, or needs of any particular person. You need to consider your financial situation and needs before making any decisions based on the information in this podcast. And you should consider seeking independent and professional advice for your personal circumstances. All right, let's begin.
Hello everybody, my name is Minh and I'm your co-host from NDIS Property Australia, and you're listening to the SDA Housing Podcast, a show that explains, highlights, guides and brings awareness about all things SDA in this ever-changing NDIS world. Today we have Josh from our team. Josh, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Josh has been an infrequent speaker on our podcast show for the last few months, but I thought I'd bring Josh in just to discuss with him and for our listeners to see and hear what is the hard work that we go through in the background in preparing a lot of projects and stock for SDA purposes, for the purpose of investors and the community overall for SDA participants. Josh, what's your feedback, Josh, in the last few months of working with us and doing this kind of preparation work for projects to be released for marketing? Yeah.
Well, there's just so much that goes into it. There's so many different people that have all different kinds of information that you really need to try and get together before you begin one of these projects. So yeah, for me, it's been, at times it can be tough keeping it up with it all, but I think now we've got a really good system in place and yeah, we're starting to get all that information together, but it's a long process and it's a long journey to get ready for a project.
So today we're going to go through an example of one of the projects that we've been waiting to work on, Josh. I mean, how many months have we been waiting for this to come out, Josh?
Say a good 3 or 4 months now.
And we're still not ready yet either, are we?
No, still don't have all the information, so that's how long it can take.
Yeah. So just to give our listeners a bit of understanding as to the work that goes on in the background, let's just read. I want to read. Josh, you read it. In front of you here in the whiteboard, Josh, there's a lot of words on this list. Can you please read through the entire list in black render on black writing on the wall there, just to give our listeners a peek of how much work does go into the preparation of all this.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, this is a project we're about to release in the coming maybe few weeks, which is in Golden Square, Bendigo in Victoria, near Melbourne. Josh, you want to go for it?
Yep. So price list, agreement, designs and floor plans, renders, builder background check, council approval, SDA provider, SDA assessor, builder inspection, builds inspection, that's for quality control, expression of interests, contracts prepared, adding to the stock list, inclusions and specs, IM, SDA research and marketing and EDMs.
So let me explain a few of these little things here. So Josh, an IM means information memorandum. What is it in IM? What is it?
Well, it's basically just a conglomeration of all of this information as much as sort of is relevant to the investor and what they would like to know. So yeah, things like your price list, your designs, your floor plans, your renders, yeah, all this sort of stuff. SDA research that we do goes into them as well. So yeah, it's
basically a summary document, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because investors are always going to ask us or ask the selling agent, who's the builder? What's the DA? Has it been approved? Has council approved it? Is there a provider in place? Who's the SDA assessor? Are the contracts ready? Where are the designs, the renders? Where are the floor plans? Where's the price list? So they're always asking all these questions. And most of the time, a lot of these developers, they actually have no idea, to be honest, Josh.
No, exactly.
Because there are a lot of investor developers who, again, their name is developer. They're not a builder.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't know about the intricacies of SDA architecture, design. They don't know about the inclusions required for participants to live in, because again, they don't know what design they should be building. Is it IL or FA or HPS? They don't know how hard or easy it is for council to put these through approvals. It's a lot of work in the background.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of work.
But most importantly though, Josh, they have no idea how to price it up either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of emails come through asking us what we think that a fair price would be for a project, a unit in a location or even a house if someone's building their house. What a fair price should be for the build. And there seems like a lot of them really don't know where to begin.
So we get asked often a lot what the pricing should be for these SDA products around Australia. And we can only give what our experience has been with regards to working with so much stock, because we know it's fair value. We know it's not the same as a normal product. I mean, a normal apartment, an SDA apartment, a normal house, an SDA house. We know what the going rate is out there for build cost per square meterage in certain areas. And so we can only give our honest professional opinion to the developer or builder or vendor as to what the price could go at, because we do see other competitive stock out there in the marketplace, good and bad. And it's important that we help educate these developers and these designers to understand that creating a minimum spec product for SDA purposes is not enough. You got to build it to the requirements of the participants in the marketplace, because, you know, what we have here in front of us being a Golden Square Bendigo 5 villa HPS product, that's fair and well, being built in a year's time, Josh. But if you're doing a development for 2 years, a lot of things can change in 2 years.
Yeah.
The delay of a 2-year delivery means other products come out of the ground faster than yours, and better product comes out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got to really think design and quality and location.
Yeah, just really trying to future-proof what you're doing and what you're building.
Very nice.
I think another big one that comes to us as well from builders is what should I build? How many beds do you think we should have? How many, where should we build? I think that's something that I get approached with a lot, just in general inquiries. And that's what we do a lot of research that also goes in the IMs, but also we do our reporting and that sort of thing. Where are the right locations that we should be looking at as, potential build sites?
So I guess the purpose of this is just to say, first of all, if you are a developer, builder out there and you're looking to do a little 6-pack or 10-pack of product for SA purposes for investors, feel free to give us a call, talk to us. We're happy to give our opinion. We talk to a lot of providers and participants ourselves, and we relay the information and we're happy to give our 2 cents worth when it comes to pricing as well. So it's a lot of work in the background. So, I can't stress enough how important all these points are. SDA assessor, SDA provider, the architect, the builder, the build quality. So, one important thing is the builder. How are they reliable? What's their pricing? Are they solvent or insolvent? Can you touch and feel the other product out there that's already built on the ground? Is there good word of mouth, testimonials on how good they are as a builder? But you never know. Again, we see in the press every day now, there's builders falling over left, right and centre in Perth and Melbourne and whatnot. You just never know. So it's important for us to do our own background check on builders. It's a small price to pay, a couple $100 here and there. But for us to give a bit of peace of mind as well, for our investors to understand that we're doing our best to deliver what we can, a good product for SDA purposes, and also to do our own research in the background. So Debbie and Lenore in our office here, they do a lot of SDA data research and summaries, just to talk to our team internally here on what's coming on the ground in certain areas, and in this case in Melbourne or Bendigo, just to know that we're not going to promote a product that's going to be in a oversaturated, oversupply area. That's very important, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even looking at the stats for Bendigo, I also had a little look at Ballarat, and they're actually 2 major locations with huge demand at the moment. So, yeah, we certainly look a lot pretty far into the data to make sure that we're not, telling people to buy and build in places that just aren't viable. Certainly a lot that goes into it, and I think it's a good thing that we do it, because it provides the investors the best chance to have a successful project.
Indeed. Now, I mean, personally, I don't mind Bendigo, Ballarat, Geelong as 3 regional.
Well, non-capital city.
Yeah, non-metro or regional. Oh, they're not really regional, are they? They're sort of 2 hours out of town, aren't they? 2 to 3 hours out of town from Melbourne. So, yeah, you got the metro areas around Melbourne, and then you got these 3 here as well as preferred areas outside of Melbourne. But no, I'm bringing this up, the topic of Bendigo, because we're looking at this Bendigo project at the moment, obviously. But there was a recent, what's the date today? Today's September, 1st of September. But a few days ago, Josh, the NDIS published a participant projection document, which was written in June.
Yeah, wow.
But only published 3 months later, which is now, right? So in the top 7 lists, 3 of those regions were Melbourne. Number 7 was Gold Coast, and there were 3 in Melbourne, 1 in Sydney. But yeah, I've been saying for a long time, and if you go back to our podcasts, to our listeners here, you see us talking a lot about Melbourne. There are opportunities here and there of other little small markets like the Adelaides and the Hobart, Tasmania area, maybe medium-sized being Perth. But Melbourne is just a blue chip location. If you're worried about saturation and is there enough stock or too much stock or is there enough participants, definitely we think Melbourne is the way to go. But I'm going off track here, Josh. The purpose of this podcast is to say a lot of work goes into the background to help developers and builders create product.
Absolutely.
Okay? We get a lot of slack out there. I mean, what can I say? Haters will be haters, right? We get people who effing hate us a lot, and I wish I could swear publicly here, but we do a lot of good out there. We do a lot of research. We do this podcast for free. We work hard to do a lot of stuff out there, and people just hate. Is it tall poppy syndrome? Is it because they look down on us because we are a real estate agent? Technically speaking, Jesus, of course we're licensed to do real estate, but we're not a real estate agency per se. We are so much more than that, I mean, we do so much hard work in the background on behalf of developers and builders. We mentor a lot of developers. We mentor a lot of builders. A lot of builders come to us have no idea, and these are good big brand builders who have no idea what to do when it comes to SDA. And we're the ones stepping up to the plate to help them, guide them, to look after them, right? And people just hate and hate and hate. And you know what? All you guys out there, just screw you, Haters being haters, you can just go away and crawl under a little rock and just hide. Because we're out there doing our best to help the community, help participants, help investors, help developers, help builders to learn more about the SDA market in this NDIS world. I mean, look at us here. We've been doing this whole damn podcast for the last year and a half, and we're doing it for free in our own time because we want to share the love. We want to share the love, share the knowledge, share the experience that we have in helping the community, right? And even now, we're letting you guys know, our listeners, and calling all the developers out there who need help. Hey, give us a call. We'll help you where we can. Yeah,
it's all about building the best possible properties for participants at the end of the day, and that's what all this work that we do in the background. That's all what it's about. We're successful. We're only as successful as our builds because it's word of mouth, and we really want to make sure that what we're selling is as best as can be.
Listen, everyone makes mistakes. We've made mistakes in the past 3 years ago when we were learning the whole process of what SDA is all about. Obviously, yeah, but we're now trying to rectify and improve our knowledge and share the knowledge out there to everyone who's listening that you don't have to accept second best, okay? If you buy shit product, you'll get shit results. I'm sorry to be crude, right? But that's the truth. We see a lot of shit product out there for SDA, a lot of it. And you know why they're all empty? Because they're shit. But let's be honest, right? If you build a shit product in a shit area with crappy design standards, you're going to get nothing out of it because everyone else is doing the same thing. Cutting corners, trying to make things cheaper and trying to maximize the return, you'll be very, very disappointed, There's a reason why people don't buy the Great Wall vehicle and buy Mercedes and BMWs and whatnot, right? So there's a big difference, okay? You don't buy a cheap product or anything at all, So the same thing applies here. Don't try and build a $900,000 house for $750,000, right? Because you're trying to get a cheap land price and a cheap builder to come in and help you out. You don't want to do that. And this is where we're now saying no more often to our product providers, being the builders and developers, and no more to the SDA providers if they don't have a high level of standard. Okay, and we're doing our best to ensure that we vet, as you see here in this presentation today, we're vetting the products being put together to ensure the designs are good, they're spacious, they're high quality, the participants love it, the providers love it, and the investors love it. It's very important, I apologize for swearing on the podcast, probably one of the very rare times I have done so, but I'm passionate about what has to be done and what we do here to help investors. And if people think they're cutting corners with a cheap, builder or developer is the way to go, then mate, go for it, mate. Just don't come crawling back to us or anyone else in a few years' time when it's empty and trying to offload your product. Because you know what? As I said, shit product, shit areas, shit pricing, you get nothing for it. That's the honest truth. Because the reckoning will come one day when all this oversupply happens in certain areas, and we're seeing a lot of it at the moment around Australia. It's not as bad as it could be, but who knows what the future will hold when more and more investors come into this world called SDA and trying to maximize the returns. Because guess what? At the end of the day, people are trying to achieve this one thing called returns. And all we can do, Josh, is really be honest and recommend good quality for investors, because guess what? The one who calls the shots here are the participants. If they don't like it, they're not moving in. And if there's a better product around the corner, they go there instead. As we keep on saying, the income follows the participant, not the house. So in our little IM that Josh talked about, in there is also the amenities around the area, the parks, the shops, the transportation, the cafes, the libraries, all those things that make a community wonderful and fun to live in or be at, wherever the word is. That's what makes people happy in a community. And we're very conscious of this, and we want to let you know, the listeners and our investors and other builders and developers as well, that don't take shortcuts. Build something you're going to be proud of, own something you're going to be proud of, and help those who most need it, and that is participants. They deserve the best, and they shouldn't get, second rated product out there. Yeah. So as we, in our journey as a business here, we're going to keep on finding and locating better locations, better builders and better designers and better quality. That's very important. And we do a lot of hard work in the background to ensure that our due diligence of product being created is of very high quality standard. We come, and I go off track now, but we come across a lot of shocking stories out there about providers, about builders, about agents who just don't give a rat's ass. They don't care. They're all in it for the money. If I could put a website called Name and Shame in the SDA, I would, but I'd rather not do that and get sued.
Yeah.
But I hear a lot of shocking stories, right? And we just hear it and see it. It's shocking. But even the people in the game, being the professionals who claim to care, do they really care? Really? I don't know. Anyway, I just want to say to you all, we care.
Absolutely.
My hand is on my heart right now, and I'm saying to you all, we do care, all right? And if you don't believe us, just look at our testimonials on our Google page. Talk to our referees. We've got plenty of referees who say that we are the good guys, not the bad guys, okay? There are a lot of bad guys out there in the SDA market who are only driven by the money, right? And we're not one of those guys, okay? So if you ever get a chance to come to Brisbane, we welcome anyone who wants to come to our office. The good guys and the bad guys. Happy to confront you face to face, right?
Absolutely.
But anyway, Josh, any last words from you about this topic here of due diligence on projects and products? Yeah.
Not really. We a lot of work goes into it. It can take us a month at times to put together the final package that we will show to a potential investor. So we certainly are doing our due diligence.
Josh, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that if anyone has any questions or queries about how we go about this process, if anyone would like us to price up an SDA product for a second opinion, happy to do so, and we look forward to educating you more about how we do what we do for the SDA market. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you are subscribed and following us so you can keep in the loop with all of our upcoming episodes. We would really appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star rating, a written review, and to share this podcast with those that could benefit. Until next time, catch you on the next episode.